Moin! Plattdeutsch lernen. Plattgrammatik 1. Schlecht, Bögen und Satzbau. Gender. Low Saxon has 3 noun genders: masculine, feminine, neuter. Assignment of gender mostly conforms with natural gender in words referring to human beings, to a lesser degree to words denoting animals. Man, Frau, Hund, Hone, Bull, Co, Hofk, Ool. A rare exception is the word for child, which is gender neutral. Similarly, one of the most archaic words for wife or woman. Kind, jong, dejen, wief. Nouns for certain animals also have neuter gender. For instance, pejat, kameel, dejat, rei, svin. Nouns denoting inanimate objects are assigned any of the 3 grammatical genders. For instance, dish, haven, oven, del, zoon, keuk, book, hus, eten. This assignment does not mean that speakers associate actual gender with inanimate objects. In order to master the grammar, the learner needs to memorize the gender of each newly learned noun. In Low Saxon, morphological expression of gender is simple compared with that in certain related languages, such as German, Faroese, and Icelandic. De dish, ein dish, n dish. De del, ein del, n del. Dat book, ein book, n book. Some more conservative dialects distinguish the indefinite feminine article. De dish, ein dish, n dish. De del, eine del, ne del. Dat book, ein book, n book. Gender distinction is clearer in the use of pronouns, where English consistently uses it. De dish, n dish, hey. De del, n del, zij. Dat book, n book, dat. Examples: de dish is old, hij is antiek. De komme is mean, zij is lut. Dat huis is groot, dat is duur. Subject. The subjective is the case of the doer of an action. In the subjective slot of a sentence, both article and noun are in their base forms. De vrouw bakten koken. De hond ruikt dat eten. Dat eten schmeckt lecker. Object. The objective case marks the receiver of an action. In the objective slot of a sentence, both article and noun are in the base forms, with the exception of the definite masculine article to which an N is added. De vrouw kookt dat eten. De man eet de soep. De familie eet den koken. There are two subcategories of objects, accusative and dative. As in English, they are marked alike. The accusative object is the one to which the action is done. De man kookt een soep. The dative object is the one for whose benefit the action is done. De man geeft den jong den bal. By the way, German speakers often claim that Low Saxon does not distinguish dative and accusative. What they actually mean is that the two cases are not morphologically marked differently, while in German they are. Like, for instance, English, Dutch, Afrikaans, Frisian, and the Scandinavian languages, Low Saxon does not mark the two objective cases differently. They were, however, distinguished in the respective ancestral varieties. Languages tend to simplify the morphologies rather than complicate them. They discard whatever seems redundant and unnecessarily complex. This fact tends to be counterintuitive to many Germans and other Europeans that grew up with the notion that grammatical complexity equals linguistic sophistication. This is a result of being taught the age-old notion that Classical Greek and Latin, with their systems of extensive morphological marking, are exemplary languages. A possible advantage of complex morphological marking is that it allows the syntax to be looser, more flexible. In other words, if parts of speech are marked by function, they may be moved around within a sentence without causing confusion. This is particularly useful in poetry and song. A language that has little or no morphemic marking must compensate by limiting syntactic flexibility. English is a case in point. Old English had complex function marking and flexible sentence structure, whereas modern English has pretty much the opposite of that. Low Saxon morphology is similarly simplified, though it is just a little more conservative in that it still marks the masculine objective case. But let's continue. In Low Saxon, as in English, the dative case is distinguished from the accusative case, aside from by semantic context, by its position within a sentence. Its slot precedes that of the accusative. De man gift den jong den bal. The dative case slot may be moved to elsewhere in the sentence, typically following the accusative slot. In this case, it must be marked by a preposition. De man gift den bal aan den jong. Recap. Masculine nouns. Man, de man. Man, den man. Dish, de dish. Dish, den dish. Feminine nouns. Vrouw, de vrouw. Vrouw, de vrouw. Deel, de del. Del, de del. Neuter nouns. Een kind, dat kind. Een kind, dat kind. Een hoes, dat hoes. Een hoes, dat hoes. Morphological marking of plural nouns is easier in that it is regular. The definite article is they for all three genders, and there is no exception. Plural forms of nouns will be explained in another video. They dischen, dischen. They dan, dan. They beuken, beuken. Marking in order are the same as in the singular. De jongs gave de deens de bloem. Jongs gave deens bloem. De deens gave de jongs de beuken. Deens gave jongs beuken. Nog voor dit maal. Meer grammatik leren.
Tschüss. Wees bedankt für drin kicken. Nicht vergessen, Leben ist Leben und Lehen.